Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. We're just one day away from the anniversary of Jamaica's independence, and you can feel the pride rising all across the island. Don't forget to visit the JCDC website and social media pages, along with the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport on all social media platforms to stay updated on the full list of independence events happening near you. And with that said, let's now begin our journey with this message and the news.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica. Original.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, August 5, 2025. The government has signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with China Harbour Engineering Company Limited, CHEC, to undertake a comprehensive feasibility study for the North-South Highway. The signing took place on Monday and included the National Road Operating and Constructing Company Limited, NROC. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the study will span 2 years and guide future road network expansion along the corridor, westward toward Discovery Bay in St. Anne and eastward to Tower Isle in St. Mary.
Under this agreement, CHEC will conduct all necessary studies, technical, financial, environmental, and social, and I just love to say this, at no cost to the government. This administration has taken a different approach. We are investing more and more into the planning of the infrastructure work.
The work will cover technical studies at approximately 80 million, financial and economic feasibility at 15 million each, and studies on environmental and social impact at $40 million. CHEC project manager Hong Sheng Gui says the collaboration reflects the company's commitment to sustainable infrastructure development in Jamaica.
Under this agreement, we will immediately mobilize the necessary resources to undertake detailed technical, financial and economic feasibility studies, along with the required environmental and social impact assessments. These studies will integrate aspects of disaster risk reduction and climate resilience, guaranteeing that the initiative aligns with that of Jamaica's Vision 2030.
Also coming out of Jamaica House on Monday is the government's official transfer of lands in Albion St. James to the Rastafari Coral Gardens Benevolent Society. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, witnessed the signing by an elder of the society and the Commissioner of Lands. She says the initiative is part of the government's ongoing reconciliation efforts following the 1963 Coral Gardens incident where members of the Rastafari community were subjected to state violence.
Today marks a significant milestone in our nation's journey toward healing and reconciliation. We are together building a foundation for Rastafari to develop and thrive in ways that reflect the Jamaican values, Jamaican culture and aspirations, where all will be treated equal.
Minister Grange reminds that in 2017, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness apologized for the Coral Gardens incident and that a trust fund of $122 million was established in 2019 for victims, benefiting 35 survivors. A temporary elders' home was also established. However, Minister Grange says the property being handed over will house a permanent elder care facility to provide shelter, medical care and other support for members of the Benevolent Society. Secretary of the Rastafari Coral Gardens Benevolent Society, Pamela Williams, thanked the government for fulfilling its promises to the community.
It has been a long wait, but we give thanks for our persistence and for Minister Grange's generosity of spirit. It is not her alone that is part of the administration, but we have been convinced of her genuine approach to the requests that we have been making.
Commissioner of Lands Sharice Walcott says all required administrative processes should be completed within 4 to 6 weeks. Then the titles will be handed over to the society, making them legal owner of the property. In other news, a $1 billion expansion and upgrading project has been unveiled for the Savannah Lamar Hospital in Westmoreland that will increase its diagnostics, surgical and bed capacity over the next 2 years. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton unveiled the plan recently. He says the project will involve doubling the size of the hospital's A&E area, as well as the establishment of an outpatient clinic, radiology department, minor operating theatre, and additional ward space.
And what will happen now is that we go to market, hopefully over the next couple of months, and a contractor will be engaged to begin construction on this premises here to build out what that piece of equipment, that the design that have been unveiled. Combined, we are building out a 29,500 square feet of space right on this compound.
The upgrading work will be done in 3 phases, starting with the build-out of the A&E department.
So we'll have trauma rooms, resuscitation areas, clinics, recovery ward, procedure rooms, minor op theatre, x-ray facility, physiotherapy services, ultrasound, CT scan services, special clinics, admin, and waiting areas that will be put into operation once we complete the development plan for the facility.
The National Health Fund NHF is funding most of the project. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining has been tasked with prioritizing forage production to support livestock farmers. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness made the call during his address at the Denby Agricultural, Industrial and Food Show in Clarendon this past weekend. The Prime Minister remarked that members of the Small Ruminant Association had identified limited forage, especially hay, as a major challenge.
We need to start looking at hay as a crop in and of itself that people will literally go and say, yes, this is what I am planting, because there is demand for it. And there is quite a bit of land there that could very well be brought into forage production very quickly.
Dr. Holness suggested that the Sugar Company of Jamaica, SCJ, which manages large tracts of idle land, explore repurposing these areas for forage cultivation to benefit the small ruminant and cattle sectors. He also stressed the need for stronger business support for farmers, calling for a national push to build business literacy in agriculture.
And so a part of what RADA does as outreach and a part of what the DBJ does as outreach must be to start to say to our farmers now, I want you to take this thing serious now and help our farmers to develop the fundamentals of business literacy in agriculture. That's absolutely important if we're going to move to the next phase.
Still on agriculture, the sector continues to gain momentum with growth of 13.7% between April and June of this year. This is a sharp increase from the 3.1% growth reported in the first quarter of the year. Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining Floyd Green made the disclosure while delivering the keynote address at this year's Denby show.
In our April to June quarter, our Jamaican farmers have produced, from our preliminary figures, 232,000 tons of production.
Minister Green says he's anticipating further growth in the sector, with hundreds of acres of farmland now irrigated and under production in Clarendon.
Our Parnassus irrigation scheme right here in Clarendon, 700 acres of freshly irrigated lands. I'm pleased to advise that every single acre in Parnassus is now leased to agricultural entrepreneurs who have started the planting and who is helping to drive our production.
Looking ahead, the Agriculture Minister points out that the Amity Hall irrigation project in St. Catherine is expected to come on stream in the final quarter of the year. This will add another 800 acres of irrigated land to the nation's agricultural output. And finally, Miss Kingston and St. Andrew Brittany Clark is the 2025 Jamaica Festival Queen. She was crowned during the Festival Queen coronation show on Saturday at the National Indoor Sports Centre. Miss Clark walked away with $800,000 in cash from the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, along with gift packages and other prizes. She also won several sectional awards, including Most Congenial, Most Poised, and Most Popular on social media. First runner-up was Miss St. Catherine, Afia Birch-Gentles, who received $500,000 and won the titles Best Performance and Best in Gown. Meanwhile, Miss Clarendon, Ravine Kildare, was named second runner-up. She received $350,000 and won the awards for Most Active in the Community and Most Culturally Aware. The competition is part of the Jamaica 63 Independence celebrations, being observed under the theme, Be Proud, Be Bold, in the Black, Green and Gold. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
The opening of Jamaica's first medical oxygen plant marks a major milestone for our healthcare system and a powerful symbol of national self-reliance. Let's take a look at this historic achievement.
This launch/turning on of our own generating capacity for medical oxygen is historic because it's the first time we're doing it. And it's historic because it is adding a valuable proposition to our capacity to provide service to the patients that we serve here at St. Ann's Bay. It's historic because it represents part of the transformation that we have embarked on and that we're following through with.
This oxygen plant is a testament to the power of determination, collaboration, and shared commitment to saving lives. What once seemed like a distant goal is now a reality.
We are thrilled that improved supply of and access to medical oxygen will be a positive legacy of Jamaica's pandemic response and Canada's support. This plant represents a significant step forward to ensuring a steady, reliable, and affordable supply of medical oxygen across the island. Canada is proud to have provided the funding to make this a reality. First government-run oxygen plant in Jamaica. As the leading donor in the oxygen space, Canada will continue to support countries to increase oxygen capacity through investments in oxygen supply, infrastructure, and the workforce. This commitment is part of our broader effort to strengthen health systems for an inclusive, sustainable COVID-19 recovery and forward-looking pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response efforts.
This oxygen plant will not only serve the immediate needs of patients, but also act as a training hub for healthcare professionals, ensuring that the knowledge and skills necessary for the effective use of medical oxygen are disseminated widely. We have already supported the training of 8 biomedical engineers and will work with the North-East Regional Health Authority to train the additional staff to support the operation of the plant. The lessons we have learned in establishing this plant are already being applied as we prepare to establish the second plant at the May Payne Hospital in Clarendon. Concurrently, and most importantly, UNICEF is collaborating with the government to develop policies, guidance, and standards for oxygen operation around the country.
I am indeed pleased that we have gotten to this stage. It is an essential stage or step towards resilience. It reaffirms the commitments that have been made by the government, by the ministry, It supports the partnership that has remained strong and will only strengthen, given the importance of what we're doing here and will do in Maypen. And ultimately and critically, it is benefiting and will benefit the people of Jamaica, which is really what it's about. That's why we are here. We are here to serve those who need this type of service.
Living in a systematic adjudication area, it's time to secure what's yours. The National Land Agency is distributing titles under its systematic land registration program. Persons in St. Elizabeth and Manchester, visit the Junction Guest House in St. Elizabeth to collect your title. In St. Catherine, we're coming to you house to house. To collect your title, bring your government-issued photo ID. If someone is collecting on your behalf, they should bring a JP certified letter and their government-issued photo ID. For more information, call 876-750-5263 or visit nla.gov.jm. One agency, one goal, committed to serve you better.
It's Independence Week, so we shift gears a bit now and, through the power of storytelling, revisit where it all began.
Good morning, boys and girls. How are we doing this morning?
Fine, thank you. And how are you?
Great. I am well. Thank you for asking. So today I'm going to tell you a story. It's a remarkable time in our history as a country. Are you ready to hear?
Yes, miss.
The excitement was boiling like a pot of red peas soup. Rosie, you see Pauline? Miss Jackie asked. No, Miss Jackie, I replied. Lord of mercy now. How may I go find her in this crowd here? Said Miss Jackie frantically. Miss Jackie was Paul's grandmother. All right, listen to me now, Rosie. You and Paul stay right here, so. Because if you no last today, my head a go hot me, said Miss Jackie as she disappeared in the crowd with her hands holding her head. Scores of school children lined the streets as Paul and I giggled and chatted about what we saw. The cool afternoon breeze and the bright evening sunshine melted the anticipation building in the streets. Me can't see the Princess Rosie, she there too far, said Paul as persons around us chatted about seeing Princess Margaret's car driving up on Tom Redcombe Road up to the National Stadium. Miss Jackie came back and grabbed Paul, and she was adamant that Miss Pauline was lost. Miss Pauline was our neighbor who lived right across the road from us in the blue house. Children, it's time to get to the stadium because that is where the big celebration will start, said Miss Jackie as she wheeled us excitedly down the road. The sound boxes on the side of the roads belted out sweet reggae music. It was a grand celebration running right across the island, from rural towns to right here in Kingston. I especially wanted to see the flag raised and hear the anthem for the first time. The sun settled orange in the sky over at the National Arena. There was an exciting energy sticking like magnets everywhere we turned. Miss Jackie helped Paul and I to get to a spot where we could watch the performance. My heart leaped inside as I imagined the joy of staying awake until midnight. Miss Jackie went to buy food from one of the vendors when Paul came up with this not-so-wise idea. Rosie, let's see if we can go right over there to get a better spot to see everything, he said as I smirked reluctantly. No, Paul, you alone go on, I told him, warning that he would later regret it. I could see Miss Jackie over by the green shop collecting goodies for us. When I looked back, Paul was gone. Where Paul there? Shrieked Miss Jackie. One of the soup fell to the ground, almost burning her foot. Then one lady with a big voice tried to get everyone's attention. Yes, sir, assume midnight now, Jamaica independence a come in, shouted the lady. There was no time to find Paul now. Down in the center of the arena, the flag was getting ready to be hoisted. The darkness stood still. It was the beginning of change. This was the moment I had been waiting for, as light shone on the flagstaff. It was the gentle breeze that blew across my face as our flag hoisted in the crisp air. My eyes watered as I glimpsed the light on the green, gold, and black flag raised in glorious independence. Yes, it's official. August 6, 1962. What touched me? I screamed, grabbing the hand that was pulling me out of daze at what I just witnessed. The anthem ringing out with a melodious triumph of victory in every note. Paul, I startled. I had the best view, Rosie. I saw everything. I was near the front, grinned Paul from ear to ear. Oh, Paul, you better let Miss Jackie dance until she forgets how you ran away, I told him. We giggled as the celebrations continued. Miss Jackie had surely forgotten, as she too was dancing the night away. Miss Pauline was there too, dancing and singing the joys of the freedom of a new nation. Miss Pauline later told us how she saw when the hot soup dropped from Miss Jackie, and that's how she found us.
From our pre-independence past to a proud moment on the national stage, let's enjoy the performance of the JCF's all-female drill team, who captivated the crowd at the 2024 Independence Grand Gala. We wait in anticipation of what this year's Grand Gala will deliver, but in the meantime, do enjoy.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force, celebrating 75 years of outstanding service by its incredible women, put on a spectacular display of skill and precision as its all-female drill team took center stage at Jamaica's 62nd Independence Grand Gala. The all-woman drill team impressed patrons with their flawless synchronization and disciplined routines. Their performance highlighted both individual talent and the team's rigorous training, reaffirming their status as a leading drill unit in the region. So how did it all start?
This idea was conceptualized from an invite that the Jamaica Constabulary Force received from the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports. Thereafter, a team of managers co-opted, and thereafter planning commenced. The concept of this specific drill performance that you saw was from history to present and what we envisage going forward as a force, as we have the ethos now of people, quality and technology. And our people came in the form of 75 females that were selected from JCF, and these females went through specific period of training for this presentation.
The drill took us through a historic walk from 1949 when the Jamaica Constabulary Force recruited its first 3 female members, Sylvia Myers, Florence Nelson, and Iris Tullow.
We looked at our present year, which is 2024, and then we demonstrated also a hashtag 75. All these numbers are extremely specific to our females who are in their celebratory mood now of 75 years strong in the organization. The art of drill came into being along or supported with contemporary music and dance that we know would be a pull factor for our Jamaican and, of course, the world at large.
Indeed, women are taking their place.
The incorporation of the contemporary dance moves, we would say that's the only aspect we would say may pose a little challenge for some, because you know that rhythm, Jamaican music is really based on rhythm. So most persons were not really dancers per se, but they all became dancers, as witnessed and evidenced at our Grand Gala.
Women will continue to serve with precision, with synchronization.
One of the most challenging part of the production was how best to condense 75 years in 12 minutes, right? So that was somewhat a challenge for us as organizers and managers. So, and not only that, but the quantum and the magnitude of the impact of the women in the organization, how best to sell this, which part to sell, and so forth. So just to come up with that composition before we go to producing was really a challenge. We decided on using some of our own reggae beats, our own cultural, our own assets to make a connection. So in even music selection, it was not really as easy as that, because there's quite a number of agreement and disagreement, and what are the messages that this one connotes or denotes and so forth. So these were some amount of back office to and froing, and but through it all we managed to agree, you know, after farming and storming, there had to be a norming because performing is on the way.
Swing it, hey, swing it. Put your foot over there, so let me see you. That's the way I'm going to swing it. What? Swing it. Yeah, Ken, I am from there before yesterday. You better dash it. Come on, dash it. Yeah, you and you dance me. I teach them today in the swing it. Yeah, swing it.
And that's it for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. And as we prepare to celebrate another year of our nation's independence, let's remember that true freedom comes with responsibility, with respect, and with love for our country. So, wherever you are, wherever you celebrate tomorrow, do so with pride, care, and above all, with love. Do join us again tomorrow for another informative show. In the meantime, visit our website, gis.gov.jm, for more news you can use. On behalf of the entire team here at the GIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Stay safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.